Okay, everybody, today we'll be driving through Brownsville, Brooklyn. A little bit of history on the area. Originally it was used for farming by the Dutch, way back. And then in the 1850s, it was bought by a guy who tried to build up the area, build and sell houses. It wasn't really a desirable area, so he went broke, and the area went up for auction. And then it was bought by Charles S. Brown, who started to build up the area. He was a little more successful and named it Brownsville. And so that's where the name came from. And then in the 1880s through the 1950s, it was a predominantly Jewish area, Jewish factory workers. It was a cheap area to live, and it was close to a lot of their businesses. A lot of their factories were actually in this area. They've since been closed down. But they crammed in here. There were up to 8 families living in 2-family houses. So there was just a crazy amount of people in this area at one point. It's rush hour over here, so people are getting a little crazy. You hear the honking and stuff. Also, this is my first video in the rain. I hope it comes out okay. But yeah. So yeah, it was a predominantly Jewish area. And then, yeah, the business is on Pitkin Avenue, one of the main roads in this area. Grossed annually $90 million back in that time. In today's money, it was 1.3 billion with a B. That's how successful this area was at one point. The original Fortunoff furniture store, jeez, the light just turned green and honking already. The original Fortunoff, the furniture store, was originally in Brownsville on Livonia Avenue. Okay, this is the train station. Right now I'm on Rockaway Parkway. I'm gonna try and get off this. Oh, this is Livonia right here. Rockaway Avenue, sorry. It goes from Parkway to Avenue. So I'm on Rockaway Avenue, crossing Livonia. I'm gonna make a right down. I'll keep going straight for a little while. But yeah, so the original Fortunoff was built here, founded here. In the 1930s, this area got notoriety by being the area where Murder Inc., Murder Incorporated was started. They were like the enforcement for the Italian and Jewish mafia. They were apparently responsible for over 1,000 deaths in the 40s. Pretty intense group of guys, obviously. And then by the 70s, this area had 130,000 residents, which is crazy crowded because today it has 60,000, and that's still crowded. 130,000 residents, mostly African American, some Hispanic and Latino, but still mostly African American. Very low income area. Low income usually results in high crime. Small area also. It's only about a square mile with mostly public housing. You can see to the right, all apartment buildings. Look at that nice artwork up there to the left. Yeah, and in that time in the 70s, there were a lot of riots going on. The government in the city wasn't really treating this area well. They cut back the garbage pickups from 6 times a week to 2 times a week. So there was garbage everywhere. So that resulted in a riot, followed by other riots for some police killings and stuff along in that nature. But yeah, so in the riots they would burn stuff. So they just set a bunch of buildings on fire. There were 100 fires that the fire department had to deal with in one night at one point. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. My dad told me some stories about this area. You couldn't even drive through here. They would throw tires in front of your car, and they'd rob you. They'd take your car and take whatever you had on you, and you'd have to just walk away through this area to go find some help of some sort, which really wasn't much around. Yeah, and by that time, most of the storefronts on Pitkin that I told you was like this very successful area, most of them were closed. This area was devastated. The mayor at the time referred to it as a Bombsville because it looked like a bomb went off. That's how many empty lots and burned down buildings there were. Crazy. I would have loved to see it in that time. Would have been pretty cool. This old building. All these buildings are real old. I love the old construction. But yeah, they turned a lot of the empty lots, not in this area, but more in Eastern New York, which I did a little bit of a video on there, into community gardens. So that's a little upside that came from that. But yeah, so in that time, in like the 70s, early 80s, they built Marcus Garvey Village, which was built in effort to have more affordable housing and a nice, little bit nicer of an area, trying to clean it up. It kind of did the opposite. A lot of local gangs moved into those areas, moved into those townhouses. They actually had little gardens. They were built to be nice, nice apartments. A lot of the local gangs moved in, and the crime went up, and poverty rate went up 40% after those were built. So it's like, it's a spot that really hasn't had a break in a long time. Someone begging for money now. Right now we're on Pitkin. I was just talking about the business in this area. Still a pretty poppin' area for business. Yeah, the crime in Brownsville is getting a little better. It's still not good, to be honest. I read a statistic which was kind of crazy to me. You have a 1 in 33 chance to be a victim of a crime in Brownsville. That like blew my mind. Yeah, even though the crime went down, as weird as it sounds, shootings went up. So homicides and shootings are up generally, but crime is down. Today's times. My uncle actually saw this. The southern border of Brownsville is Linden Boulevard. My uncle, some of you may know him as a stuntman, and my dad is cameraman. But shout out to Neutral Drive. But yeah, my uncle was driving down Linden Boulevard, which is the southern border of Brownsville, and saw a guy. He didn't know for sure if this is what he saw, but it looked like someone got shot. And they held their stomach and fell to the ground. You can't get involved in that kind of situation. Someone has a gun. You don't want to be the next victim. Next day in the news, that guy actually died. So this area has not gotten much better. I mean, it is better, but not that much. Jeez, the honking. The light turns green, everyone honks. A lot of famous people grew up in this area. I'll rattle off a list here in a second after this turn. Even for a rainy day, there's a lot of people out there. It's not really too rainy, it's kind of just drizzling. But yeah, so Larry King grew up here. Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, who was a boxer, Andrew Dice Clay, comedian, grew up here. The Three Stooges, which I didn't know this, they were all brothers. They grew up here. I don't know exactly how to pronounce this. RZA. I don't know if it's pronounced any other way. From the Wu-Tang Clan, from here. And Al Sharpton. So I guess a rough area produces interesting people. Look at this guy to the right here. He looks like a movie star. That hair and beard. I don't know if you can see him. See these crazy high rises? Oh, I was actually a few blocks from this block right here at one point, and I saw an argument happen, and then two guys chase another guy. He ran through the center of a park and shot out in a different spot, and then I saw him start walking. but I knew that there were still 2 guys chasing him. So I pulled over and rolled him in, and I said, "Yo, they're still after you. They're still after you." And he was like, "Oh, okay, thanks, man." And he started running again. So, you don't want to see someone get hurt, you know? Try to help someone out, you can. But yeah, this is the most densely populated, densely concentrated public housing in all of the country. Pretty crazy. I mean, like another minute, we pretty much covered all of Brownsville. That's how small it is. Oh, to the right there, that's one of the community gardens. They can't build in those community gardens because they made a some kind of group that protects them, which I think is nice because it brings some life into the area. A sense of community, you know? School here to the left. Let's see, kind of school. It's a middle school to the left here. The biggest employer in this area is the U.S. Postal Service. To the right here. Really, really high rates of poverty, really high rates of unemployment in this area. It's a shame. It's one of the few spots in Brooklyn that isn't getting gentrified. I was reading a few articles on it. They think that it's because all the surrounding neighborhoods aren't good either. So it's hard for the gentrification to come to this spot. Plus, with all the stuff that I just told you, when you want to move to this area and open a business or start a family, it's yes, 127. Alright, that's generally Brownsville. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope the rain wasn't too bad on the video. I don't think it was. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I would appreciate it. And goodbye.